Hello, I'm Congresswoman Juanita Millender McDonald, representing the 37th Congressional District. I am passionate about securing funds for youth programs that will bring about the quality of life in our Watts-Willowbrook communities. I am proud to have secured funding from the U.S. Department of Labor for a Youth Opportunities Program that will be an entrepreneurial program to further the opportunities for students to have a higher quality of life and higher education opportunities. I am equally proud to introduce the video you'll be watching entitled Watts News. The video was written, produced, and edited by incredible youth who reside in Watts. EECI has worked diligently to provide class instructions, trips to film studios, colleges, and other locations to demonstrate the importance of hard work, education, networking, and resources. The efforts of the Watts Star Theater and Education Center staff should also be commended for exposing the students to dedicated industry giants such as Dan Feldman of Warner Brothers Pictures, Eric Lomas of MGM, Diane Medina of ABC News, and Janine Heidel of KJLH. These role models have enlightened and encouraged students by unselfishly sharing their experience and expertise. After you have finished seeing the Watts News and viewing this film, you will recognize that there's more in Watts and more to Watts than what you find on the evening news. It's incredible young people working tirelessly to enlighten and to improve their education as well as their quality of life. Now sit back and enjoy Watts News.
I'm standing here in front of the beautiful gazebo of the third largest tourist attraction in Los Angeles and the pride of our community. The Watts Towers continues to be the center of all artistic expression in Watts. With that said, one annual event held here in the Towers is the Watts Day of the Drum Festival. Since 1982, performers have been communicating to the Watts community through their drums. Community drummers jam in their own freestyle session. The beats of the drum excite the audience, and they celebrate the history of the drum and its evolution of all sounds from all parts of the world.
It's a lot of music out here. People from a lot of different countries to study and learn from.
Daryl Mayungo Jackson is internationally known as the Latin jazz percussionist. People look forward to Mayungo's performing each year, and his entire band spend time with us that day. He has played with Miles Davis, Stevie Wonder, and currently performs around the world with Diana Reeves. I've been living in Watts for 7 years now and recently found out one of our jewels, the Jazz Mentorship Program. The program for more than a decade has academically enriched young people on the early days of American music by interacting with jazz professionals. Watts native Patrice Rushen is one of the founding members of this prestigious program.
The Jazz Mentorship Program started about 13 years ago or so, and it was to kind of fill a need. It was to fill a need of having the music go to the people as more and more and more clubs were shutting down and music departments in schools were shutting down, and the ability for us to be able to have workshops to expose our kids to jazz and also to continue to heighten the awareness and the pleasure of the listeners who were already into jazz as our resources began to diminish.
Rushen, the first woman to ever musically direct the Emmy Awards, People's Choice Awards, and Comic Relief, has worked with Quincy Jones, Prince, and Boyz II Men. Working alongside her is a good friend, Bobby Rodriguez. He has recorded with Quincy Jones, Shaka Khan, and Pancho Sanchez, and more.
Buddy Collette, Patrice Rushen, Sharon Harata, myself, Ned Wheeler, we're some of the beginnings of this jazz mentorship. And the whole purpose, of course, is to help young people appreciate, the music. I mean, we're talking about Watts, Compton, South Central, East LA. All these communities need so much inspiration, need professionals to come in and remind the kids that they can do anything they want. their dreams are possible. Now, I know for a fact that not only have the concerts been effective in letting kids know and see and hear the music, but they've also helped young kids get inspired to perform the music. I know many children who have come through the ranks and now who are playing professionally, and they were inspired by this program.
I'm here at the EECI corporate office. I'm here to share highlights of our Channel 7 ABC News tour. We interviewed Diane Medina, who is Executive Director of Human Resources. Her main goal is to let minorities know that they too can have a career in the broadcasting arena.
Early on, when I first got my first job, I realized that there were very few minorities and there were very few women other than in clerical jobs. And for me personally, I became a passion to do everything I could in this business to make it more open and diversify it. So in being in personnel and being in human resources, I've always approached that responsibility as a way of opening doors for women and minorities who otherwise would not have had perhaps an opportunity to compete for certain types of jobs.
Mark Brown was working on a breaking news story about the Big Bear fires with his partner Michelle Tuzzi. This is one of the most exciting parts of our tour. Mark Brown showed us how it's very important to be prepared and quick on your feet while in the broadcasting field.
My inspiration or my passion was really about wanting to make a difference to bring more diversity into the entertainment business.
Those stories and more next on Eyewitness News at 6.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Watts News. Janine Hydell is one of our very own Watts stars shining brightly. She is the co-host of the morning show at one of our largest black-owned radio stations, KJLA, owned by Stevie Wonder. She's a perfect example of determination and success. We had the pleasure of interviewing her at work as she shares with the youth the importance of education and success and reaching for their goals.
I think the key thing is, if whatever your dream is, if you know yourself well enough and you know it's something that you're going to enjoy, you think you're going to enjoy, to pursue it no matter what other people tell you. Sometimes you have to keep those dreams to yourself because sometimes people steal your dreams. But the main thing is to follow through on whatever your dreams are. Go out, seek information. Now that we have the internet, there's a wealth of information out there on broadcasting, on different related fields. Get as much information as you can. If you can get an internship in that field, that is the best on-the-job training you'll ever get. Just ask questions. Do like you two are doing now. Ask questions of people who are in the field that you're interested in, and just be relentless in your drive for your dream. I'd like to see a place where kids can go after school so they don't have to go home and sit at home and watch TV or feed themselves until their mothers come home from school. I'd like to see programs where parents can volunteer their time to help those kids have outside activities, because our kids are getting into trouble because there's no positive things for them to do.
Ms. Ozzie B. Gonzack is known nationally and internationally for her 35 years as the Watts star. She recently resigned from the Board of Commissioners, and we captured several of her colleagues' thoughts about this special day at the Los Angeles City Council, where many of them expounded on her work.
Many people are not aware that she's responsible for creating the logo on the side of the LAPD police cars and came up with the slogan, to protect and serve. But she's had a unique ability to tell you when you're wrong, but support you when you're right. And so that's something that I think is so important. But again, when we think about her service for 40 years in this city, not one dime of income. Did it totally as a volunteer, and a volunteer for the city of Los Angeles. Ms. Gonzack?
All of us owe you an incredible debt of gratitude for your many years. You listened to the residents. For many years, they had not had someone that they could talk to that understood their plight, that understood their problems, and you always advocated for them. You always made sure that this city and our departments paid attention to the person who most most often did not have a voice.
You brought a very practical sense to difficult situations time and time again. That skill will be very difficult to duplicate. The bar that you've established for all of us is very high, and I can hardly imagine someone coming after you and being able to accomplish even half of what you've accomplished for all your years of service. So thank you so much.
It was your leadership and the work of the Housing Department and Hope 6 funds and all of the folks at McCormick, Barron, and Salazar that put together an incredible project, and so you leave on a great note after 40 years of service to the city. So thank you so much.
You taught me how to be tough when we needed to be tough, how to be kind, how to be understanding, what it means to be committed and to work, roll up your sleeves, and look at every single detail and be a strong advocate.
But you've really proven that this is a government for the people and by the people. They had high-level contacts or went to school with somebody. You've shown that right from the community is the strongest voice of all. Right in the midst of where the policy is being made, you don't make policy on a community, you make it with a community. You have shown that, and you have shown that with shining colors, and we will look forward to continuing to have you be that bright angel here in the city of Los Angeles. So even though you're going to be going away, we expect to see you quite often. Congratulations.
Thank you, Councilman.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Alonso, and it's my pleasure to be your first interviewer for today. My first question to you is, what are your responsibilities here at MGM?
I'm the president of distribution here, so I'm responsible for all aspects of distribution from as early on as the script stage, deciding which projects that get made along with a committee, as well as not only implementing them, you know, helping pick the cast, things like that, all the way down to picking the release date, determining the release pattern, whether it goes, you know, everywhere at the same time, what we call a wide release, or whether it goes on a limited break or exclusive or regional, things like that, down to who makes the prints, where we buy the film stock, everything that has to do with theatrical distribution. I'm your man.
How did you excel so quickly in becoming president of distribution at MGM?
Hard work. Put in a lot of hours. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day, including weekends, and I'm usually the first one in the office and pretty much the last one to go. Not every day, not today. Sarah will be the last one to go today, but everybody's leaving early today. But no, it's hard work, and don't wait to get asked the question. Don't wait to be told what to do. Know the answers before they ask the question, and take initiative. Do things before you get told to do them. What advice do I give to youths that want to get into the entertainment industry? Well, one thing would be stay in school, get an education. Number two, you need to work really hard. It's a very tough business, and there's a lot of people trying to get in it. So if you get an opening, it may not be at the level you want to get in, get your foot in the door and work hard and make your boss look good, and that will get you taken care of. Well, I think it's important to support the community. Particularly, you know, Hollywood is very, very charitable, and we support a lot of, you know, giving back to the community, and the Watts community has been overlooked, in my opinion, and in a lot of our opinions. And we think it's a great project, and we are really proud to be a part of it. I can pretty much assure you that you will be working with us here at MGM. I think that Barbara wouldn't let me do anything else. Well, what we make here are urban films. We call them urban films, whether it's African-American films or whether it's a Latino film. The reason, what would constitute it is it's hip. They're on, you know, they're edgy films, typically at a lower budget. You know, the average film is well over $50 million to make a film today. That's the average. For the urban films, the average drops down to about, and I'm going to guess here, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 million. This is an underserved market. We can make a lot of money here and make a lot of people happy and give opportunities to a lot of filmmakers that normally wouldn't get a shot at a big studio. Sometimes you get what's called a crossover audience. You get everybody. That was the case with Barbershop. When you deal with filmmakers like George Tillman Jr. and Bob Title, who made that movie for us, they make stories about people and not necessarily the typical exploitation film of the past, just a shoot 'em up film. They make, human stories. And sometimes they cross over, and when they do, you end up with big hits, and there's a lot of upside potential there. So that's why we decided to focus, a good portion of the production money towards urban films.
Hi, my name is Sylvester Romaldo, and I'm the director of this video. It is my pleasure to introduce the WattStar Theater and Education Center. In this building, we'll learn lighting, sound, camera work, and all other sorts of post-production jobs. That's why we're so adamant about bringing this project to fruition. I hope you'll support us too. Thank you.
Warner Brothers held a special benefit screening of Halle Berry's movie Gothica. The event took place at the world-famous Man's Chinese Theater. Let's go on scene for a closer look.
What's the last thing you remember?
There was a girl.
Very interesting, not too scary. Holly did a wonderful job. My heart stopped like 12 times.
This is a girl that I saw.
Mr. Dan Fellman was courteous enough to give us a film to screen for you this evening.
All that education, but you can't remember an umbrella.
We had a wonderful time at the screening of Gothica. Did Gothica surpass your expectation for sales?
Gothica was a wonderful success story for us. We love Halle Berry. Happy to say that her next movie is Catwoman, which will open up on the 23rd of July. We believe in diversity. We like to support all inner city projects. The projects such as WattStar, we all need to support. Because down the road, when we bring young people in, especially from the inner city, into the studio system, youth is going to be the individuals that are going to take your industry to the next step down the road, and that's what it's all about. We'll help develop the talent and the executives that we need to take our industry down the road. That's why Warner and other studios within the industry support such a wonderful project.
Hello everyone, I'm Kimberly Brooks, and one of the most fun and anticipated events in Watts happens in the winter. This year we filmed the 38th annual Watts Willowbrook Christmas Parade. Parents come with their children, seniors reminisce about the past, and there's fun for all. We're live at the 38th annual Watts Willowbrook Christmas Parade, and I'm standing here with
J. Anthony Brown, and I'm standing here with
Kimberly.
Kimberly, what's your last name?
Brooks.
Kimberly Brooks. This is one of the WattStars. All the youth are involved in this thing, and all these people are operating the cameras, and you're a reporter, right?
Yes.
What else do you do there?
I'm a student there.
Okay, I'm interviewing you. How about that? And I always try to get involved in anything that's hood related. Not so much hood, because that's a bad word, neighborhood. So I come down here to see the WattStar. Hey, we're doing an interview here! We're doing an interview!
Thank you so much.
All right.
Can you tell us why you and others started the Watts Summer Festival?
Well, the Watts Summer Festival started for 3 reasons. Number one, it was started to memorialize the 34 people who lost their lives in 1965. Number one. Number two, it was an act of self-determination on the part of a community to step forth and say, this is what we're about as a community, and this is what our message is to the world in terms of our creative, positive side as a community. And thirdly, as a source of revenue for the Watts community. The Watts Summer Festival have brought millions of dollars into the community since its beginning. Richard Dito, who one of the Watts prophets, brought together myself and Forrest Hamilton, who was representing Stax Record Company. We sat down together and talked about producing a concert jointly that would benefit the community here in the community. And so we took Watts, the first name in Watts, and Stax name and put it together and called it Watts Stax. And then we produced the first concert ever held in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in 1972.
And the Watts Summer Festival is one of the oldest African American festivals in the U.S. This year we were lucky to have with us the incredible Howard Hewitt.
Everything's not what it seems. There's a stronger force behind the scenes. He said, no, everything. He's right there, you.